Taking care of yourself is taking care of your health. Before we get into that, give me the three freebies: like, share, subscribe. I'm the Spencer Perspective, your host for the Firm and Fair podcast, and we have work to do. Let's get to it. Like I've always said before, self care is going to be very important for your mental health. That's something I've been focused on for the last, I want to say, year and a half. And I'm doing little tweaks, taking care of my body, just making sure I age gracefully because I've seen how the generation before me, they've taken aging and they haven't taken it in the best direction possible, if you ask me. Self care is something that's going to be paramount for you right now. If you have the opportunity to start taking care of yourself, take care of yourself because guess what? If you don't make time for your health, you're going to make time for your sickness. Remember that, all right? Now, self care is all about everyday habits that help you take care of and nurture your health and well being. You may have read about self care and may be on board with the benefits it can offer, even if it requires some extra effort on your part. And right now, I'm just reading an article from Everyday Health. Now, self care means really listening to your body, taking moments to check in, intentionally tuning into the thoughts going on in your mind, challenging your behaviors and belief systems if things feel out of alignment in your life, says Kelsey Patel, a Los Angeles based wellness expert and the author of the forthcoming book, Burning Bright Rituals, Reiki, and self care to heal burnout, anxiety, and stress. You may feel up for the challenge, but recognizing the need for self care is one thing. Actually adopting a self care practice that can improve your life is another. Here's how to do it. So before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit more about what my self care routine looks like. So this is on just about everyday basis. After I take a shower, I dry up. I actually have a floor towel now. So I used to have what's it called, like athlete's itch, and I used to have that on my feet. And once I started just drying my feet with a separate towel, separate from my body as a whole, that kind of took care of the process. So that's one thing as far as self care. Trust me, you don't want athlete's itch if you can help it. Athlete's feet. Now, after that, after I dry my feet, I use witch hazel to take away oils, essential oils from my face. After the oils from my face, I use rose water, rose water to kind of freshen up my face, just make sure, like, we need to be hydrated. Even though we're human beings, we are biological machines. And as such, if we are biological, then, the majority of what we're made of is water. If the majority of what you're made of is water, you have no time for being dry as an individual. You really, really don't, especially on the outside. We're like raisins. You're wrinkled. You're definitely wrinkled. So dry yourself, all right? So, make sure you moisturize. So after I put on the rose water, I put on shea butter. So, like, that keeps his face suavemente, suavemente. After that, I focus on, like, taking care of my underarms, making sure that I moisturize the rest of my body. I make sure I brush my hair. I also have a self-care process for brushing my teeth. Not only do I brush my teeth, I use a floss pick. After the floss pick, I usually utilize mouthwash. And then after mouthwash, I use a tongue scraper. So I'm like, yeah, we're really focused on taking care of ourselves around here. After that, let me see what's up there. Sometimes I put on some cologne because, like, it's good. It's good to smell good in the morning, even if you're not going anywhere. And then after I'm done with that, I actually lay down on my bed and I take about 15 to 30 minutes to myself and I just relax and I do nothing. And I make sure no screens are on, no sounds are on. I actually have a blackout curtain and I make sure there's no sunlight coming in. And I just take 15, 30 minutes for myself. Let's get back to the article. First, understand what is self-care and what isn't. The way I define self-care is the intentional, proactive pursuit of integrated wellness that balances mind, body, and spirit personally and professionally, says Paula Gil Lopez, PhD, an associate professor and the chair of the Department of Psychological and Educational Consultation at Fairfield University in Fairfield, Connecticut. It's about more than taking care of a physical health. Just eating healthy isn't enough anymore, says Patel. Things are moving so fast around us that we need, let's get back, sorry about that, that we need space to self care and slow down to rest from all the business of our lives. I'm a big proponent in that. Definitely start taking time for yourself where you just do nothing. Um, just that act alone can save you some brain space and kind of make when you have to do something a whole lot better for you. That's the reason why I don't mind working as hard as I do because I take a lot of breaks and I take a lot of doing nothing because doing nothing is like one of my favorite things to do, believe it or not. And just because the behavior is good for you doesn't make it self-care, explains Bridget Courtney, Boston, a client leader at the wellness technology company Wellable, and a faculty member of the Wellness Council of America, WellCoa. You need to get some sense of gratification out of it for it to be self-care, she says. Although activities such as running or meditating may be good for your overall health and well-being, if you hate them, then they're not considered self-care. Well, I'll tell you this much. Running and meditation is pretty much my little getaway. Those are my little mini vacations whenever I do them. So I love doing them. It took me a long time to get to it, but yeah. If you can get to a point where physical exercise is a part of your self-care and you appreciate that, if you appreciate it that much more, oh man, when I tell you I'm having fun, I am having the best time of my life as of right now. Is it hard? Sure. It doesn't ever get easier, but your ability to do it gets easier. So there it is. Now, if you hate them, then they are not considered self-care. If you do find these activities energizing and fulfilling, however, they are potential self-care practices. So, the common denominator of self-care practices is that you get some enjoyment out of the activity, says Marnie Amstelem, PhD, a licensed psychologist based in Fairfield County, Connecticut. Your perspective, the Spencer perspective, your perspective plays a role in determining what types of behaviors constitute self-care for you. For instance, say you are new to running and set a goal of running 10 miles per week. The act of running itself may not be enjoyable, and you may struggle through every minute of it as you get started. But if you get satisfaction from meeting your goals, it could still be worthwhile. Okay. So even if you don't exactly enjoy what you're doing, if you create goals for yourself and you can actually crush those goals, you get enjoyment out of the fact that you completed a goal of something that you didn't like. I think that's like a double whammy. Now, if that practice allows you to say, look at what I did today, I'm working towards my goal and that feels good, then that counts even in the moment it doesn't feel like self-care, Dr. Amstelem says. Ultimately, your self-care routine should make you a better version of yourself. Oh, yeah. I'm a big believer in that. Even to the extent that I utilize hydrogen peroxide in my ears to like kind of soften up the wax and take it out. Cause like I think of like, taking care of like different aspects of myself. Like if there's something wrong with me, I go to the doctor now. You really got to take care of yourselves because the only one thing you truly own in this world is your body. Philosophically speaking, that's the only thing you truly own. I own these 10 fingers, this kneecaps and whatnot, these ankles, as crossed up as they might be, just crossed up, but I own them and they're mine. But it's the only thing you truly have. So make sure you take care of your body. I go to the doctor for anything. Maybe this might be TMI, but when I was younger in my early 20s, I got a lot of my teeth removed. So I have like 5 teeth removed, from here, various locations in my mouth. And that's only because I was like really, really not taking care of my teeth, eating a lot of candy and whatnot. If something goes wrong, I jet to the dentist now. Yeah, throw that Novocaine right in my mouth. We got to get busy to get them cavities out. But I haven't had an issue in years because I really do focus on taking care of myself because I've messed up. I wish I was doing this when I was younger. But at least I got to a point where I am taking care of myself. And as such, I should age gracefully. Now, my rule of thumb is as long as the activities that you choose are adding to your well-being and are not detrimental to the other areas of your life, then there is a benefit, Courtney says. You are better suited to take care of others, foster strong relationships, be resilient, and balance personal and professional responsibilities. So here's a 5-step approach for creating and getting into a self-care routine. We're just going to go over the steps. Feel free. I'm going to drop this link in the video itself so that you can actually take a look at it for yourself. But here are 5 steps for approaching and getting into a self-care. And taking care of yourself is taking care of your health. So number 1, find what makes you feel centered. Number 2, brainstorm how you can incorporate those things into your daily life. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have a lot of time to incorporate a lot of different things into my life. And as such, we are taking care of ourselves over here. Focus on creating a time frame for that because this is your you time. This is you getting to know different nuances of your body. I've learned how to take care of my feet a little bit better, my toes. I ain't got the big chopping bunny no more. Just coming out just coming out, with the big toes and when that no good at all, no good at all. So being that I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have much time to just take care of myself, and that's what I use that time frame for. I'd set goals for incorporating self-care behaviors every day. Yeah, exactly. Even if you have a whole routine you want to do, just start doing one step. Start doing one step every day. Then the next week, incorporate another step. Then the next week, incorporate another step until you have your self-care routine down pat. Even right now, I have a pretty good self-care routine, but even I know that it's not complete. It can always, change and make adjustments depending on, what's going on in my life. After 7 days, evaluate. That's number 4. Number 5, adjust and tweak your approach as you go. Yeah. If you ever have the opportunity to do so, make time for your health. If not, you will be forced to make time for your sickness. Self-care is important. Not only are you not taking care of yourself, but you're taking care of your health. And I think that's kind of important, especially if you want to age gracefully. It's a hell of an adventure if you let it be one. Keep focusing on this, all right? It looks like you're starting to do better. I'm already doing better. We're all going to. This is the Firm and Fair Podcast. I'm your host, Spencer, and I'm out.